Getting zero conversions with YouTube ads or just simply not satisfied with the results and sales that you're getting from your paid ads. In this video, I'm going to break down the solutions to the 5 biggest mistakes you make when advertising online to increase sales on YouTube and overall paid socials. Now, my name is Gergo, and for the past 4 years, I've been working with high-ticket e-com brands, helping them diversify their revenue away from inconsistent ad platforms like Facebook by using YouTube ads, growing them to multiple 7-figure years. So with no further ado, let's get straight into the video. So let's start with the very first step when it comes to any successful ad campaign, even before the creatives, which is proper tracking. Okay, it's really important before running any ads. Make sure your tags, pixels, UTMs, AI pixels are properly set up. I've seen a lot of scenarios where a tiny little thing was off in the tracking, and that's why the campaigns were showing no results at all. So Google Ads recommends using web conversion tracking and setting up the Google Tag Manager for accurate tracking and really just optimizing your desired conversion events. So step 1, make sure you have Google Tag Manager set up to track your conversion actions inside the Google Ads account. So this is a really easy step to do. You can, this can be done in like less than an hour. Now, bear in mind, you also want to track lighter conversion actions with Google Tag Manager, meaning that specifically if you're running a book hookup funnel, for example, where you have a landing page that has an opt-in to a VSL, to a Calendly, that kind of funnel, you want to make sure that you don't just optimize for booked calls all the way down the funnel, but also top of funnel conversion actions or lighter conversion actions, as Google Ads saying, such as leads or opt-ins. Okay, or if you have some sort of sales page, sales funnel where you have a product, you want to make sure that you optimize even for add to carts and checkout pages to see each segment of the customer journey and get your conversions faster and get your achieved, desired conversions faster. So this is really important. Also, always test your conversion actions before starting running your ads. So as I've said, I've seen tiny little things off in the tracking setup, and that's why campaigns were showing no conversions. So just always keep that in mind to test them first before you start running the campaigns. Now, before I keep going here, one of the best tools that you can invest in your business, especially if you're selling direct to consumer, high ticket offers, low ticket offers, even in the online educational space. So everything we do at onceadvertisements.com for our clients, it would be highly recommended that you would get Triple Whale as your tracking software, as it is hands down by far the best tracking software in the industry. Now, all of our clients are on Triple Whale, and the reason why is because if you're not using an AI-based tracking software, you're making marketing decisions based off of false data. Meta is notorious for over-reporting and Google is notorious for under-reporting, and even if you try to even it out and set the average as a benchmark, it is still going to be unreliable and invalid data. So here's an example of what it would look like, okay? Now, this is a real client account. By the way, this is a screenshot that we took from the AI-based tracking software Triple Whale. Now, why it's really great is because it integrates all your payment processors such as Stripe, Wise, Shopify, or whatever you use, and all your paid ad accounts, your email provider, your sales funnel, and a lot more data points. Plus, it also tracks your whole customer journey from the very first touch point or interaction a customer had with your brand, right? It also follows IP address changes, so it knows if a customer changes devices, which is quite crazy. So basically, it all comes down to Triple Whale being able to track everything that you would simply just not get from the ad platforms providing, right? So if you take a look at this picture, you can see that in this column, Google shows us the return on ad spend, which is quite invalid because on the right column, the Triple Whale software is showing us the actual return on ad spend. As I've mentioned, Google is notorious for under-reporting. So as you can see, each row is a separate campaign right here. So if you take a look at this row, second from the bottom, 6.55 return on ad spend as Google says, but it was actually generating 7.21 return on the ad spend. This is a really important consideration because imagine killing campaigns that were showing no results on YouTube, but it was actually generating positive returns. You would have killed that campaign. Whereas if you were to scale that campaign, you would have gotten more returns from your budget. So it's just so crazy how we're working off of false data, right? Because brands are not willing to invest in AI-based attribution models. So just pay attention to it. If you don't have Triple Whale, you're basically tapping in the dark. You're going to be spending money on campaigns that are not profitable, and ultimately you're not going to be able to make as much money as possible. So Triple Whale can actually just save you money plus bring you more money. So I would definitely recommend signing up along, with Google Tag Manager. I'll put the links in the description. Now, the next thing that keeps you from getting results on YouTube is running unsolicited offers, okay? YouTube ads are great for mass market B2C types of offers. These are the offers that are the biggest markets in the entire world. All right, so what are these markets? So consumer goods like B2C products, health and fitness, dating and relationship, and making money online. These are the biggest markets that people are running offers for because there's a big enough total addressable market, meaning that there's a big enough market size for it, right? And so when you're running YouTube ads, you're going to be targeting a lot of people, especially because everything is starting to slowly transition to this AI algorithm based targeting. And so a lot of people have this misconception that YouTube ads can work for any type of offer, right? There's just a huge ignorance when it comes to what offers work best on YouTube ads. So keep this in mind. YouTube ads are great for mass market B2C type of offers. Now, I'm not saying that YouTube cannot work B2B as well, because B2B markets work really well as well on YouTube if the total addressable market, meaning that the market size is big enough and you're not targeting super niche. Now, what does that mean for you actually? Well, it means that if you're targeting an offer for agency owners, for example, that's a big enough market, or coaches and course creators, obviously that's a huge market. Now, where it would not make sense and I would not advise running YouTube ads as a primary strategy is if you were trying to target someone super niche, like for example, targeting fragrance shops in Italy, right? How would you do that? There's literally no way that you can pinpoint someone who owns a fragrance shop in Italy. Yeah, there's probably some chance that someone who falls into that segment would see an ad of yours, but there's just literally no way to specifically target and make it happen on purpose, right? Now, besides having a large total addressable market, audience size is key, okay? Always check your target audience size and how many impressions this is gonna get weekly, because you don't wanna target an audience that's too small, plus you also don't wanna target an audience that's too big. Now, a decent sized audience would be anywhere from 100 million to 500 million in terms of weekly impressions, but you can go all the way up to 1 billion to 5 billion, but that's already a bit too broad, okay? So just make sure that you're not going above 5 billion at any cost. Now, this mostly applies to keyword-based or intent-based custom audiences, but it's a key concept to go by. Now, if you want to know how to get up and running with YouTube ads and actually take these steps and implement them in your business, then just schedule a demo call with us. You're going to find the link down below in the description or the top comments, and you can get a personalized quote today from us. We will give you a custom tailored plan to your specific needs. So don't miss out on this opportunity. You can find again the link in the description below. Now, moving on, probably one of the biggest key considerations when advertising on a video-based ad platform like YouTube is audience message match, okay? If nothing else, make this the only thing that you're going to be trying to identify as much as you can. You need to understand that consumers are at different stages in the customer journey or in your funnel specifically. So for cold audiences, those are the people who have never heard about or interacted with your brand before. Show more generic stuff with the purpose of problem awareness raising, audience building, engagement and interaction building, educational purposes, and everything along those lines, right? Whereas for more audiences, the people who are already familiar with who you are and have interacted with you before, for those you want to show more in detail stuff, okay? So you want to throw in special offers, leverage social credibility by testimonials and reviews. You want to show how many happy customers you have by using your product, or show some special discounts, basically anything that nurtures them towards taking the buying decision eventually. Now, here's a key concept. The better you know your audience, the better you can cater to their needs. Now, this is obvious, but a lot of brands overlook this concept. So consumer behavior is always changing, therefore make sure that you're following and on point with what your customers demand, right? Now, if you're running Facebook ads or you have any historical data from your customers, great. Now, just utilize all that data and just take a look of what kind of demographics are buying and get all of the buyer data and analyze what typically the ages that are purchasing, where these people are from, all of that information, because that's going to give you a really nice baseline and help you with your targeting. So what I'm trying to say is that you should know your audience as much as possible, and you'll be able to easily find creatives that resonates well with your desired target audience. Now, the next thing that keep you from getting results on YouTube is the wrong campaign structure. It's really important to know that unlike on Facebook, the budget is set on the campaign level, and this really influences the whole campaign structure when it comes to advertising on YouTube. Many people I know were struggling to get the most out of their budget, and were simply not able to do so due to poor budget allocation. So I'm going to show you what a Facebook versus YouTube ad account structure looks like. So this is how a Facebook ad account would look like. We have a campaign with multiple ad sets and multiple ads inside the ad sets, and this is the simplest campaign structure on Facebook, as the budget is set on the ad set level so that we can easily see which ads and angles and audiences perform best. And on the flip side, this is how a YouTube ads account will look like in terms of campaign structure, okay? So we have a YouTube ad campaign with only one ad group in it, and then with multiple similar ads with different variations. Again, since the budget here is set on the campaign level, we want to keep as much control over the budget allocation as possible. Therefore, we are only putting one ad group in one campaign. If it would be putting more ad groups, Google would distribute the budget according to its own will, and we don't want that, okay? Now, bear in mind, this is only the case when it comes to YouTube ad campaigns. With PPC, it's a whole different story. Now, I would recommend you ideally put 2 to 3 ads in one ad group with the same marketing message, but all 3 of them are different variations in terms of like hooks, angles, and other creative variables, right? Now, this is really important. If 2 ads are far from each other in terms of offers and messaging, put those in separate campaigns, all right? Because you want to clearly know which offers and creatives resonate with what audiences. If you put multiple offers into one campaign targeting one audience, if the campaign is performing, you will not clearly know which one is the preferred offer, okay? So that's that. And finally, the last thing, and probably the most important thing that holds you back from getting out the most money possible from your paid ads is your landing page. I hate to break it to you, but one of the biggest mistakes I see with brands and business owners like you is that you don't really pay much attention to constantly testing and optimizing your landing pages, websites, or whatever you use. So just make sure that your landing page is converting properly, okay? So let's say, for example, that you're getting decent results with your paid ads. So all you see is that your campaigns are performing, you're getting a lot of traffic on your website, you're getting a decent amount of conversions and getting direct sales on your website. But you don't realize that sometimes there's more money on the table than you're bringing home from your paid ads. And so you don't realize that your landing page could be further optimized. Now, if you're getting great results, that doesn't really mean that those couldn't be improved, right? So you may not just realize that you're losing customer at specific sections of the customer journey, for example, at different subpages or intermediaries that are actually not needed, but you don't identify that because you're solely focusing on optimizing your paid ads side of things and not making different landing pages, for example, or do CRO, which is conversion rate optimization. And then here's a crazy concept, right? If you have the best ads possible, targeting the most engaging and interested audience possible, but if you have a poor, slowly loading, not optimized landing page or funnel, guess what? You're not gonna see results. On the other hand, if you have a really good website and if you have the best ads, but you're showing it to the wrong audience, guess what? You're not gonna have results. If you have a really good audience and a really good website, but you have bad ads, guess what? You're not gonna have results. Overall, all I'm trying to say is that if you have the ads and audience side of things figured out, great for you. But all I'm trying to say is that you need to have the landing page fully optimized and consistently optimized, most importantly, all the time, so that this picture of 3 and the golden circle of 3 is matched. And it all comes down to being able to contribute to all 3 of these big elements of online advertising. So circling back, this is why investing in an AI-based reporting software like Triple Whale is extremely crucial, because it has all the spider maps and heat maps breaking down the customer journey on your website, so that not only you can further optimize your ads, but your website too. So that's that. Now, if you want to learn even more about YouTube ads and how you can leverage it to get more sales to your business, check out this video where I break down the best bidding strategy for YouTube ads. Until next time, take care.